tonight, but I think the weather may have kept people back a little bit. We've got a great lineup tonight. We have Lisa Kelly, P.R. Murray, Emily Bevan and Emmanuel Sugoi. Just to tell you a little bit about the show itself, it's in two halves, just to be unusual. Each half should be about 40 minutes long with a 20-minute break in the middle. So we should finish just after 10, which should give us a little bit of time to talk and have a drink afterwards, if that's what you want to do. For those of you who've not been to the Poetry Cafe before, the loos are at the back of this room and the bar's upstairs, but I think you've all found that. So I'd like to start the evening by welcoming a poet that is first appearance at Dodo Modern Poets. We spotted him at reading at Poetry at 3, which is an open mic event that takes place here on the first Thursday of every month. And very impressed with his work. We think he'll go a long way, but at least he's come this far, and we're delighted that he is here with us tonight. Please give a big Dodo Modern Poets welcome to Emmanuel Sugoi. How is the mic on?
It is, it's on. Everyone can hear me?
Yeah, good. Oh, let me just show you.
Oh,
This big thing.
it's one of those.
Yeah.
Sophisticated.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing?
Yep.
Wow, you guys are poetry, you're like, yeah. How's everyone doing? On a scale from 1 to 10, where are you right now? 5, 6. How many people just finished work? How was work? Was work good? Was it boring? Who think work was boring? Who had a boring day? No one had a boring day? Okay, that's good. Okay, good. That's the kind of audience we want. I'm not saying that you had boring days, but I'm just saying it's good that everyone's energy is live. So I'm gonna do 3 poems this half, and it's nice to just be here. Also, you do want to come in and something?
I'm quite alright here, thanks.
Okay, cool. Alright. The first poem I'm gonna do is called Father's Son. It's a poem I wrote. I think I performed it at Poetry Free as well. I hope you guys enjoy it. And here it goes. I've held the river from spilling over your shirt. I did not want to flood the attire of a man of high standing, one that was too prestigious to swim in the pool of my predicament. My aim was not to stain your family tree with my complaining, but it has begun to plant some seeds. As summer drew near, I felt bad because the crops would get the full brunt of my wrath, and the farmers would only be able to harvest my disgust, and with no food in sight. This will make her hunger for my presence. She will cut herself up from your branches and cross your borders just to return to my roots. I did not want your name to be the only luggage she left behind on our honeymoon, so I kept your last name for safekeeping. I made sure your last name accompanied us to the altar even though you never approved of our love. Your name is an immigration process that took longer than I expected. The first time it arrived at our doorstep, it dusted its foot off my tongue, making it difficult to hide the disappointment in my mouth. But maybe in time, my taste buds will become accustomed to the taste of regret. Many years have gone by. Time has become a flood trying to kill the human in us. And my feet are too small to fit into the shoes of a man who can swim, so out of desperation, I named our first son Noah because I hoped you'll one day build an ark that would save your name from drowning in my saliva. He's a man just like you, whose breath reeks of jealousy whenever I'm caught holding his mother's hands. I named him after you, hoping he'll one day hand me a compliment you never did. Today he looked me square in the eye and said, "Dad, I'm so glad you married Mum. She's a woman with clumsy lips which often slips, but you are always there to catch her smile." I must admit, I'm not good at fishing, but I hope to catch the sun burning in another woman's mouth one day. Maybe that day my happiness will finally have its hand, to which I replied, "I pray your joy does not die of sunburn. And besides, you are not a fisherman. I raised you to be an ocean, a place even I have to go fishing for compliments." Thank you. Alright, how many people know that National Poetry Month is in April? Okay, cool. So National Poetry Month is in April. One of the things that happens in April is something called the 30-30 challenge. So for every day of the month of April, you get to write a poem. And Charlie, my friend Charlie and I, we kind of did the challenge, and we kind of came through. It was my first one, so I did it good. And this is a poem that was written out of that. It's basically a conversation between a whale and the tsunami that happened in 2011. And yeah, I know I just write weird stuff sometimes. Yeah, but you enjoy it. It's called a tsunami interview. I am an unripe sunset fed to a cold-hearted night sky, itching for the break of dawn to warm up its bones. I am a buffet of clouds serving rain to stillborn soils whose teeth are too weak to chew on solid food. I am a wounded ocean, nailed to a cross, crucified by the wind. When it pierced my sides, I bled tsunamis of the way to the shore. When a fish wants to break up with the sea, it always heads for shore. A blue whale was once asked by the ocean, "Why are you leaving?" That whale looked at the ocean and smiled and said, "My heart only lights up cigarettes around leaking gas pipes. My love is passionate. It looks like 11 stories of burning brick. Not call me a house on fire. This is just what a house looks like when it gets into a heated debate. And you are 2,993 miles of fire extinguisher trying to destroy my point. Even 2,993 miles of water muttering do not go underneath your breath wouldn't stop a runaway from heading into a fisherman's hook. Woe to all the ocean in our love when it tosses and turns and it can't sleep at night. Woe to us when the waves get desperate and the sea gets restless. Desperate is an ocean's anger jogging at 890 kilometers per hour, trying to keep loving shape by chasing a blue whale. And maybe you do not find that funny, since being heated is the only way water can blow off steam. Do you want to hear a joke? What does a health hazard chasing a blue whale screaming "come back" look like? It is that tsunami you saw outside your window. When the ocean's heart is on fire, the shore will begin to look like a fire escape. Someone once asked all of the water in that ocean in 2001, "Why did you drown all of Tohoku?" It replied, "No one ever intends on becoming a tsunami. No one ever plans that." And for a long period of time, I thought fishes were only based on the sea, were only meant for the sea. You were banking on that. You believed that. And I was always banking on that. I was banking on them always returning back to me, but no one ever told me that human stomachs also serve as an aquarium, which was terrifying. A tsunami is just the trembling you feel at the idea of your lover's heart making bubbles in someone else's stomach. And so I snapped. See, I am an unripe sunset fed to a cold-hearted night sky itching for the break of dawn to warm up its bones. I am a buffet of clouds serving rain to stillborn soils whose teeth are too weak to chew on solid food. I am a wounded ocean nailed to a cross, crucified by the wind. When it pierced my sides, I bled tsunamis of the way to the shore. When the fish wants to break up with the sea, it always heads for shore, and the waves chase after it. Thank you. Hey, it's back on. Is it back on? Come back to life. Yeah. All right, cool. This poem I'm going to perform next is a love poem. It's one of my favorite poems because, like, the way it was written, it was like really good. So yeah, it's called "The Opening Act of Butterflies." It's my last poem for this half. You guys have been great. Hope you enjoyed this one. I used to yell your name from the rooftops of my smile only because I used to live in the basement of yours. However, time has confirmed I am no longer welcomed in the midst of the congregation of your laughter. They have labeled me a criminal. Tagged me alongside a series of items you will soon place in the coffin of your regrets. I get that it is time to bury the cause of your pain, so make haste. Hurry up and return me to dust. I hear heaven as a better view to watch over your smile. I pray I get to see it. They say the earth is a comedian. No wonder its people die of laughter. Love was an inside joke to which the butterflies in your stomach laughed out loud the first time we held hands like grudges. Under a berserk sky stood two victims, subjected to the cruel intentions of the slippery grass ganging up under our feet. We lost our grip and fell on a grass field, landed like two lunch boxes filled with conversation made for a picnic of kisses held on the frequency of our walkie-talkie lips, trying to warn all the homeless excitement in pursuit of happiness running around in our lungs, not to use our ribcage for rock climbing, or treat them like a fire escape for air. But this adrenaline junkie is not afraid of heights. They're scared to cross the borders of life and death, and so together they jump off the cliff of our chest, face down, descending in a diving motion resembling a scene as beautiful as the act of suicide water commits when it is sprinting down a waterfall. They spread your lips. They want to kiss the wishing well in our cork, and you hear the storyline of excitement building up in our skeleton. As a roller coaster hits our pulpit shape, dying from blood drips from the top of our cathedral like it was painting death and splattering ink. What is this feeling in our stomach? But it gathers like a forest fire. It burns like incense. It is passion that has built up smoke like the Hot Wheels on a race car, screaming in agony as they burst up the tunnels of our windpipe, blazing past the red lights in our lungs. They do not care to stop for air. They are trying to beat our nose, which laid low like two police cars watching like speed cameras, waiting to catch our breath. But love is a stuck-up breath. It feels too good to breathe. So breathe, because this were all the good parts. And no longer do they matter, but I still believe that smile which you wear as controversial as the one on the Mona Lisa is still your best outfit. So never undress your lips. For no longer will I be able to replace all the light bulbs that have gone out in your mouth. So when they all go out, do not be afraid, because someone else will come to hold your hands when your tears come crawling out like ants. But before I left, I stocked up your freezer with kisses, hoping it will last you through the winter. I guess I forgot how big your appetite was. Thank you.
What an unforgettable image, a freezer stocked with kisses for the winter. I think we can all relate to that, can't we? Please, more applause, please, for Emmanuel Sugoi. And Emmanuel will be back in the second half, so we look forward to